Hello everyone, my name is Jefferson, and I'm here today to talk to you about Thomas Jefferson and the positive impact he had on American history. Granted, there are many aspects of Thomas Jefferson that are cast into the light of controversy, but I'm seeking to avoid those and just look at the good that he did, because honestly we all need a little more positivity in our lives, and I try to be a positive person. So, one of the primary accomplishments I feel Thomas Jefferson made was the founding of the University of Virginia, which was really, quite revolutionary for its time. It was a public college that anyone could come to, had they the finances, to learn and better themselves. I'm really impressed by that, and today UVA, University of Virginia, is one of the biggest, most prominent, most well-known universities in the world. One of my neighbors, a 86-year-old veteran, was a alumnus of University of Virginia, and he could not speak highly enough of the quality of education they gave him there. The second thing I'm going to look at briefly is Thomas Jefferson's authorship of the Declaration of Independence. Now, the Declaration of Independence that we have today, that we all know and love, is not nearly as long as the sorry, got a little tongue-tied, as the draft written by Thomas Jefferson. Originally, Thomas Jefferson had a lot more of a document than the document that we have today. A good 2/3 of it wound up on the cutting room floor as the editors removed things that they thought, well, they're redundant or they felt didn't really make the point clear. Me personally, I really need to find time in my schedule to read the original draft of the Declaration of Independence, because I want to see what all Thomas Jefferson had and how much of it really was redundant, or how much of it just didn't go with what the editors thought needed to be there. There was a lot of the political maneuvering in the writing of the Declaration of Independence that really went on behind the scenes, which you have to look really hard to find it, but you can find it if you look hard enough. Thomas Jefferson spoke a great deal on the place of religion and its relationship with the state. We all remember that infamous separation of church and state line that has been tossed about so freely by the media in times past. But I feel what Jefferson meant when he said this. He did not mean that never the twain shall meet. If it's something state-related, it can't have anything to do with the church, and if it's something church-related, it can have nothing to do with the state. I think Thomas Jefferson was seeking to avoid the religious wars that had racked England for so many, many, many years before his time. Catholics would come into power and persecute the Protestants relentlessly as they made Catholicism the state religion, and then the Protestants would come into power and would make Protestantism the official religion, and would persecute the Catholics relentlessly, and on it would go, because the monarchy would become inexorably linked with a religious denomination or affiliation. And I think that was what Thomas Jefferson was seeking to avoid. That's personal opinion. I don't have anything that, Thomas Jefferson wrote saying, I think that that the state shouldn't have control over what churches people can worship at because of all of the terrible religious infighting. I don't have that document. But me personally, it just makes logical sense that Thomas Jefferson would know about this, firstly, as he was a learned man. And secondly, it makes sense to me that that would be what he meant by making sure that state didn't interfere over much in the affairs of religion, and that religion didn't interfere over much in the affairs of the state. That's not the same as saying that they'd be eternally separate, but simply stating that the church doesn't need to control the state, and the state doesn't need to control the church. I really like Thomas Jefferson. I really admire him as a person. I'm aware of the controversies surrounding him. Make no mistake on that. I just wanted to take a brief moment and describe what I feel are his primary contributions to America as we know it today. The first being the University of Virginia. The second being the Declaration of Independence, even though the one that we have today is substantially different than the original document. And thirdly, the religious freedom that we enjoy here in America. Liberty University is a Christian university, predominantly Baptist in its theology, which is wonderful, but back in the day, in colonial period, the colonial period and the time before that, the Baptists wouldn't really have been able to establish a university because they were persecuted by both the Catholics and the Protestants. I hope you all have a wonderful week. I hope you have a great rest of the class, and I look forward to learning from the replies that you give to this post. God bless. Have a great week.